We know how much that fear runs our lives or holds us back from things. So the question, we've been talking about it before, what does your fear cost you? What has your fear cost you? The things that you're scared of, what does it cost you? Has it cost you going after that financial success or that ultimate relationship or something in your health? What does your fear cost you? I was just having this conversation with somebody about how most people know the things that they need to do. They're just too scared to do it. Most people know that they, in some respect, need to fix their finance, but they're scared to make the sacrifices. Most people know that they need to change some things in their health, but they're scared to have to wake up early or go to the gym or feel sore or not eat something, right? There's a fear that lies there. So what does your fear cost you? Hopefully it's not costing you the things you want most in life. Hopefully that's not us, right? Hopefully we're able to see that false evidence appearing real, fear, right? It's just another thing, another emotion that we can start to quiet as long as we don't pay attention to it. But what does your fear cost you? Right? Some things that Lisa Nichols said in there, stop playing in your comfort zone. Stop playing in your comfort zone. How comfortable are you? Are you seeking comfort? Remember, those of us that want to go design our ideal life, not just accept what we have, but go design the life. Just like Lisa Nichols said, right? You're the designer of your life. You're the designer of your life. You and God are the co-authors of your life. So if you want to go off and design your life, you have to learn to be uncomfortable. It's only in the discomfort that we can learn how to grow the character, the things that we need, the capacity to handle the life that we're asking for. So everything dies in your comfort zone, nothing good in your comfort zone. So are we seeking comfort? Or are we seeking to be uncomfortable every day? Are we anything that is inside of your comfort zone is not going to help you get to designing your ideal life, ladies and gentlemen. You all know that. But how often are you pushing yourself? How often are you pushing yourself every day to get out of the comfort zone, outside of the comfort zone of your emotions? We have emotional comfort zones as well. How much do you experience the same emotions on a daily basis? And maybe it's time to experience some new ones, have some new conversations, get around some new people, feel some new things. Comfort zone. What's your dream? Do you have a dream? Has your dream diminished? Have you gotten away from it? Did you have a dream before and then because it took a little bit longer and there were some obstacles and some challenges and some things that you had to overcome, the dream shrunk? At one point in time, you had a big dream, right? At one point in time, we all had big dreams. This is why children are so precious, right? Because you talk to a child, they have the biggest dreams. They have the biggest things that most likely are unattainable. Oh, I want to go off and be the right astronaut president of the world. Like, oh, okay, got it. Like huge dream. But then all of a sudden, we get older and older, and we're like, yeah, well, this is gonna be my life. This box, this here. I'm not gonna reach anymore. I'm just gonna take this part of it. So, what's your dream? Hopefully, you've been feeding your dreams instead of feeding your fears. Hopefully, you've been pouring into your dreams, writing them down, getting a vision board, getting around other people with big dreams, looking at things that you really want to make happen, the impact you want to make in life. What is your dream? This is where it all starts. The only reason we change our mindset, the only reason we change our perspective, the only reason we do the work that it takes in order to get to the life that we want is because we have a dream. If we don't have one, you wouldn't do this work. This is the hard work, right? This is the work that people don't want to do. But if you have a dream, you'll go after it. She talked about rewriting your story. Funny, we just listened to Ed Milet talk about rewriting your story, right? Being addicted to the expansion of our being, right, Ron? Being addicted to the expansion of our being. That's how we got to start rewriting that story and getting into what it is that we want to design our life to be. So she talked about the same thing. She said that your life has to make a difference. So I hope you all know that your life, you need to leave your stamp on this world, whatever that looks like for you, whatever that looks like for you. But you got to go after it. We got to work. We got to push ourselves to get to that ideal life. Champions develop bravery in the battle for their dream. So if we have the dream, and some of us might need to still work on the dream, some of us might need to get back to the drawing board. Some of us need to I used to tell this to people, you need to turn the dream machine on again. Some of you shut down the dream machine a while ago and just was handling life and getting through. And right, again, the mindsets that we have gotten us to this point. Our thoughts that we've had have gotten us to this point. You've had some things that served you in a certain season just to get through. I know so many people that, right, have tough things happening in life, the challenges, the obstacles of life. And because of that, they stop pursuing the dream because they have to handle the right now. That happens every once in a while. That happens where you just got to take a step back and say, hey, let me fix this part of my life really quick so I can get back. But I also know a ton of people that chose to do that and then stopped going after the dream. The dream machine turned off. Life took over and they turned the dream machine off. Now they have to turn that dream machine back on, and it takes time. It takes a little bit longer. It takes more intentionality. It takes you actually getting around people that have other dreams. It takes you not listening to society or the middle class voice or the news or anything that takes away that spark you need in order to go after your dreams. It takes energy to go after our dreams. So maybe there's been some things that have been energy suckers in your life that have been taking away the energy. And if that's the case, then maybe we have to start by getting some energy back in our lives so that dream machine can turn back on and we can go off and design the life that we don't need a break from. But all of that being said, you need to develop bravery to do that. It takes bravery in order to go after your dreams. The people that are the most brave, right? The people that say, you know what, I'm going to push through this. I'm going to fight through this. Those are the ones that get the outcomes that they're looking for. So that's what we have to do. Here's what it says in the text. It says, world-class performers know facing their biggest doubts, fears, and worries are the ultimate challenges for champions, and therefore exercise a substantial amount of bravery in their lives. Let me just say that sentence again so we all get it. World-class performers know that facing their biggest doubts, fears, and worries are the ultimate challenges for champions, and therefore exercise a substantial amount of bravery in their lives. It takes a lot of bravery to push against your doubts, your fears, your worries, that voice that says you're not enough, you can't do it, you've never seen anybody do it, you're not equipped, it's going to take a lot of time. Whatever those voices are that we all have, it takes bravery to push against, substantial amount of bravery, as it says here. It says they're willing to endure sleepless nights and endless worries as they walk the razor's edge. They're profoundly aware that one small slip could send everything they've built crashing down, yet they continue to build. They are often criticized and ridiculed by the masses who see them as a threat to their lack of engagement in life. Champions accept the fact that the end result to life is the same for everyone, and since no one will survive in the end, there's no point to playing it safe. So what average people see as unnecessary risk-taking, champions view as playing the game while there's still time left on the clock. They have the guts and bravery to face the truth and take risks that make the masses squirm. You gotta have bravery for your dream, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta develop the cojones, right? Like it takes a lot to say, you know what, I'm gonna go after this thing that I want. I'm gonna go after this ideal life. So I'm not just accepting what's coming my way. I'm actually going to push against the current. I'm not going to let the current take me. I'm not going to let the mindsets of the people around me, my friends, my family, my coworkers, the people that are okay being where they are. And again, I've said this, for some of you might not have heard it, right? Like that's okay. If that's who they are, if that's who people are, where they just want to be where they are and fit into the crowd and not push for any dream and just kind of get to death safely, right? That's what they say in this book. We just want to arrive safely at death, right? We don't want to risk it. We don't want to get too high, too low. We just want to stay comfortable and pursue it all the way through till we're safely at death. That's their life. That's perfectly fine if that's who they are. But we can't be around them if that's not our life. If that's not the life we want, if we don't want to just arrive safely at death, if we just don't want to get to the end and be like, all right, I made it through. If we want to say, man, I made a mark in this life. I left a legacy in this world. I've done some things that I never thought I'd be able to do. Lisa Nichols said it towards the beginning of the video. She said, if your dream is not causing at least a couple butterflies in your stomach, if your knees aren't knocking just a little bit, then you aren't dreaming big enough. You're not thinking big enough. If you can deal with and handle everything that you're thinking about, then you don't have that God-sized dream. You might want to get back to the drawing board, because your dream should be a bit scary. It should be beyond your scope. You should be asking yourself, I don't know how I'm going to get this. That's where your faith life will come in, right? That's where you'll really need to lean on other things outside of your own strength and your own being. But it all starts with developing the dream. The dream should be big. It should be something that you know you want to go after. And then we have to start doing the work to go after it. One of the biggest things, like it says in here, is pushing against your fears, doubt, and worry. This runs most people's lives. The fears, the doubts, the worry, the things that they have to deal with on a day, this runs most people's lives. But if you want to be a champion, you want to be world-class performer, you want to develop this life that you don't need a break from, that most people won't even be able to get to, you've got to start having some bravery to push back against some of these things. How much has your fear cost you? I don't want it to cost you anymore. We all have some forms of things that we're a little afraid of. But we looked at this maybe a couple weeks ago. Are these adolescent fears? Are these like boogeyman in the closet fears? Or are these real fears that need to protect you? If it's a fear of rejection, that's not a real fear. If you're just scared that somebody's gonna not, say no to you, or not like what you're doing, or not agree with your stance, or whatever the case is, that's not necessarily a fear that should be holding you back from designing your ideal life. But how much are you on a daily basis pushing against these fears? How much on a daily basis are you really giving yourself the opportunity to step out of the comfort zone, to do the thing that scares you? You've heard me say that at the end of a lot of these calls. I say, hey, go out and do something that scares you this weekend. Go out and do something that scares you. Too often we do the things that are the most comfortable for us, and it develops more comfort in our life. And it's the opposite of developing and designing the life that we really want. Nobody that's just comfortable their whole life gets to the life that they want. More importantly, they don't become the person that they ultimately want to be. They don't get to the highest, grandest expression of themselves because they're not being challenged. They're not pushing themselves. Every day is too comfortable. Their emotional homes are too comfortable. Practice being vulnerable a bit more. Practice an emotion you haven't felt in a long time. Practice it. Go out and do some things that put you in environments that make you uncomfortable. If there's a group of people, I tell this to people in business all the time, right? If there's a group of people that you're not fully comfortable with, go find that group of people and try to get into their network. For me, it used to be older white men, salt and pepper, gray hair that look like they're right, super financially well off. I used to have fear around them. I got rejected by a few of them. I had a little bit of trauma, a little PTSD in there. Didn't make me feel good. Felt like they looked down on me the whole nine. And then what I eventually started doing was getting in the environments where they were more often. I literally I leaned into the fear. I leaned into the thing that was scaring me a bit. I leaned into that. That's how you develop bravery. Now I don't have that fear. Now I get around everyone. I talk to everyone, right? But that was a stage in my life. There's probably some stages or a place you're at right now in your life where you have some of those fears that you can naturally, if you're intentional about it, you can naturally get away from them. You can push away from them. If you lean in a bit, if you say, you know what, I know this is a worry, I know this is a doubt, I know this is a fear I have, how do I lean into it? And like Lisa Nichols says, the more you lean in, the more it's going to go away. It's going to become your fuel. It's not going to be the fortress, like she said. It's not going to be the thing that stops you. It's going to be your fuel. So this is how you start developing some bravery, y'all. It takes bravery to get to your dreams. Why do you think most people don't live out their dreams? Why do you think most people don't ever get to that place they want to be financially, or they don't want to get to the ultimate relationship? It's because it takes bravery. You have to be brave to do that. You have to push against a lot of things. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to not have to do those things, but you'll never be fulfilled in getting to the life that you want to design. You'll never be the person that you need to be to build the capacity, to have the proper character in order to handle that life. So we got to do the work. You got to do the work. Here's what it says in this quote. It says, the world has a way of giving what it is demanded of it. If you are frightened and look for failure and poverty, you will get them, no matter how hard you may try to succeed. Lack of faith in yourself, in what life will do for you, cuts you off from the good things of the world. Expect victory and you make victory. Nowhere is this truer than in business life, where bravery and faith both bring material and spiritual reward. You got to lean into it. Lack of faith in yourself cuts you off from all the good things. So are you building faith in yourself? Are you building confidence in yourself? How do we build confidence? We keep the promises we make to ourselves. If any of you are struggling with any confidence issues, you just don't believe that you can do it, we'll start with small promises. You say you're going to wake up at a certain time, wake up at that time. You say you're going to go to the gym at a certain time or do a certain thing, do that thing. You say you're going to call somebody back on a certain day, call them back. Right? There's little things that you can do to increase your confidence, your self-worth, your self-confidence, keeping the small promises that you make to yourself. We've let ourselves down so many times. We said we were going to be at a certain place by this time in our life. We said we were going to do certain things and we didn't do it. And slowly over time, that erodes your confidence. So we got to rebuild it. We got to reprogram ourselves. We got to retool. We got to get better in those areas. Whatever you see, whatever you focus on, you're going to get more of. Here's the action step for today. It says, make a list of 10 things you're afraid to do and decide to push past your fear and do one of them. The sense of exhilaration you'll feel will only be exceeded by the confidence you'll gain. Make a list of 10 things you're afraid to do. Yes, that means you got to spend some time with yourself. You're not going to do it on the run in the midst of you doing all the other things you're doing today. You can spend 30 minutes with yourself today. If you don't spend 30 minutes with yourself every day, you don't have control over your time. We got to get better with that. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. I know we have demands, we have families and lives and jobs and careers and all the stuff, but you need 30 minutes with yourself every day. Out of those 24 hours, you need 30 minutes. And do something like this. Make a list of what you're afraid of. Decide, it's a decision. Decide you're going to push past this. You're going to push past one of them. And then actively work towards that. Be intentional about working towards that and pushing against that fear. Don't let fear hold you back from a great life. Don't let fear hold you back from your goals and dreams. It happens to all of us, but we can't allow ourselves to succumb to that if we're going to be the people that go off and design our ideal life. Remember, this message isn't for everybody. Not everyone wants to get better. Not everyone wants to be great. Not everyone wants to change their situation. I get it. I've been dealing with people for a long time. I get it. Not everybody wants to, but those of you that do, you're the people that want to grow and want to change. These are the types of things we got to push past. Got to go make it happen. I love you guys. I love you all. I want you to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. There's people counting on you. There's people waiting on you to take in this information and then go do it. Don't just do the normal stuff. What's up, Dana? I see you down there. Don't just go do the normal stuff. Go do the things that are challenging, that push you outside of your comfort zone. Do something this weekend that scares you. Do something that challenges you, that causes yourself to grow. That's right, Rob. Good to see you too, right? This is what we're here to do. And you got to stay mindful of these things if we want to go off and design that life, because I'll use one of Dana's greatest sayings back in the day, right? Because it's too crowded down here at the bottom. It's time to get to the top of this thing.